Hey, I'm James, and welcome to Alternate Sides, a podcast about movies, parking, and a 25-year friendship. This episode, we're letting it all hang out as we explore Paul Thomas Anderson's 1997 kaleidoscopic end-of-an-era drama, Boogie Nights, starring Mark Wahlberg, Julianne Moore, Burt Reynolds, and many more. Along the way, I recount my recent psilocybin journey in Massachusetts, and Sam talks about the time he was hired to make a montage of P.T. Anderson's work, which Anderson himself later saw and commented on. Here we go. Whoa. I'm coming in hot today. Just finished my 60-minute Power Zone ride.
Oh God, the ride to nowhere.
Oh, it's a ride to success, I think. A ride to self-esteem. Somehow I never quite get there. Yeah. Okay. P.T. Anderson's 1997 Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights. Dum, 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 Boogie Nights.
We have much to discuss before we even get to that. We might not even get to everything before then. Now, let's just follow up with your run of success. You were nominated for some Critics' Choice Awards. Is that right?
Oh, let's not discuss such things. We were nominated and we lost very quickly in short order.
It's an honor just to be nominated. I've been told.
I wouldn't get too excited about the Critics' Choice Awards.
Let's talk Boogie Nights. 1997, not Wes Anderson, P.T. Anderson. I think for almost everyone, he came out of nowhere, right? He had made Hard Eight, which was a feature.
Yeah.
But this was really one of those cases of somebody bursting on the scene, late 20s, with a tour de force.
It's a crazy second movie, right? It's the two movies here, Boogie Nights and Magnolia, as a second and third movie. Movies that in scope, you'd have a really, really hard time getting made today, but also even at that time, was insanely difficult to pull off such a sprawling...
It's an incredible run. Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love, There Will Be Blood, The Master.
Yeah, those are pretty good. And I would say that Boogie Nights is the weakest of all of those.
I would say that too, actually. I'm a huge Magnolia fan. I know it's a imperfect movie. It's flawed. It's bloated. It's sprawling. But I love it so much. I love the tone of it.
Yeah.
I just think it's so interesting and so great.
Yeah.
This movie, I feel like he's still... It's interesting to see it now. I think it's good. It's a very good movie. It's an incredibly accomplished piece of filmmaking. There are great performances. But it definitely feels like someone early in their career, like doing the Scorsese bit a little bit, doing the Altman bit a little bit.
Yeah, I was surprised. I've seen the movie a few times before this week when I rewatched it, but I was shocked at two things.
The nudity?
not the size of his willy. No, the number one was how incredibly indebted it is to Scorsese.
Well, the last scene is basically a straight cop of Raging Bull.
And the first scene is a straight cop of the Copa, the
right.
Single shot into the Copa. But so many shots in between. And even the way, like, the dissolve cuts, chick, 3 cuts, dissolve,
right,
or the hard cut intros to scene, coffee cup, keys, this, very Scorsese. And of course, then the other thing which is tied in with Scorsese is the music.
Right.
The music is sort of relentless in this movie. Like, it's just one track leads to the other track leads to the... Sometimes they even like dissolve between the track. It's just wall-to-wall soundtrack.
There's a great bit of score, though, which is during the sort of downfall part where they're cross-cutting between...
Very good.
Wahlberg in the pickup truck and Reynolds and Heather Graham in the limo. And it's like... Yeah.
Boom, boom.
It's like 5 minutes of the same, like 3 seconds of music over and over and over and over again.
You know what's amazing about that, Jimmy? This speaks to, as your dad might say, mediocre minds think alike. It's really funny. So I used to do this may have come up at some point. I used to do these videos for Sundance when they would give awards to. It started with they gave Shirin, who I worked with for years. They gave her this. It's not quite a lifetime achievement, but it was like for a body of work. It was Risk Takers or something. I don't know, some Sundance thing. And they would give these awards. So I did this one for Shirin, and they were like, "Oh wow, this is way better than all the other ones." And we're having real trouble cutting some of these. Would you do one? So in the end, I did one for Todd Haynes. I did one for P.T. Anderson. I did one for Errol Morris. A couple other people. Anyway, the P.T. Anderson one, this was after Punch Drunk Love. So he'd done 4 movies, and he hadn't done a movie in a while because there was a bit of a gap. After Punch Drunk Love, he took some time off, it seemed. So they give you the movies, and then they give you the soundtracks, and they're basically like, okay, cut something. And the thing I used to cut the P.T. Anderson thing was that piece of music. So I just started with that sound and like fade in, fade out, like up from black, down from black. And you had like Sam Jackson, a bit of a Sam Jackson monologue from Hard Eight. There's stories I've heard, and you know stories. It's something like that. It starts like that, and then it kicks into this violence. But the whole beginning of it was this. And P.T. Anderson, apparently, when he watched I wasn't at the ceremony, but when he watched the cut, he said to Michelle Satter, who used to run the thing, he said, "This is really good. I don't feel so bad about not making another movie. These seem like pretty good movies, actually, watching them like that."
That's a great compliment to you as an editor.
Yeah, I was good at that kind of trailer teaser shit for a while. I did a lot of those. It's its own kind of form, actually. It's interesting how to make those.
There's another good, I mean, it sort of is the Goodfellas of porn, you know.
Yeah.
It's basically that story. And even the idea of coming back, where he comes back hat in hand to Burt Reynolds, is very similar to, you know, Paulie and the sausages.
Yeah.
And,
now I got to turn my back on you. Paulie shuts him out, though. Yeah, Burt Reynolds lets him back in.
I mean, I think the lesson of these movies is don't do cocaine.
It doesn't go well. We got to talk about the Molina scene.
I didn't even realize that was Molina. He is my God. So incredible.
So good. So good. So the Molina scene to me.
Hold on. Let me go back. Just quick recap. Very quick recap.
Oh, this is going to be hard. How are you going to recap?
Very hard. It's set in the late 70s, early 80s, right before video takes over the porn industry. And Mark Wahlberg plays this sort of naive, bumpkinish busboy who gets picked up by director and what do you call a person like that?
Pornographer? Is that the word you're looking for?
No. I'm an actor. Don Cheadle's also very good.
Jack Horner.
Jack Horner. No, what do you call Svengali? That's there you go. Okay,
Svengali. Yeah. He wants to be an artist. That's what I like about Jack Horner.
Yeah.
The thing that annoys him at the end is when the guy goes, "Your movies suck now anyway."
So, and there are wonderful names in this movie. Ricky Jay's character is named Kurt Longjohn. You know, and there's Brock Landers and Chest Rockwell.
And Reed, what is it?
Reed Rothschild is the John C. Reilly.
How good is John C. Reilly? Oh my God. Yeah. How good is he?
So the acting is incredible. And it's basically a rise and fall a la Raging Bull, a la Citizen Kane, a la There Will Be Blood, a sort of classic American rise and fall movie. That's kind of the gist of it. Now, you were going to say about Molina.
So the Molina scene at the end, which is basically, I think, like a short film, right? It's like
so tense. I had a very difficult time watching that.
The Chinese kid knocking firecrackers on them.
Yeah.
It's so amazingly well done. That's
so strung out Wahlberg, Reilly, and who's the third guy?
Yeah, I don't know who he is, but he's very good.
They go at the third guy's urging to the home of the Molina character, who's sort of a kind of an unhinged drug kingpin. And the idea is they're going to give him a bag of baking soda, right? And they're going to get $5,000 in return.
It's such a bad plan. Such an incredibly shit plan.
Well, the thing that's funny is they go in and they give him the bag and he's like, okay, here's $5,000. No one tries it or anything. They get away with it very quickly. But then they linger and it turns out that the third guy, the guy that they're with, has a deeper plan to rob the place, and then it goes terribly wrong.
That sequence, I think, to me is the sequence that proves P.T. Anderson's skills. Like, it's such a beautifully put together, and it is like self-contained. It's remarkable. It's also, it's a little bit, it's almost like more Oliver Stone or Brian De Palma than Scorsese. Like it's over the top. It's a bit further even than Scorsese would go. It's got a Tarantino element to it. But it's like pushed everything to the max. Molina himself is just fucking jumping off the roof. It's just so great. There's a moment though in it where the camera locks in. It's where we see Wahlberg.
Yeah, what is that? I was going to ask you about that. What is that moment? So they're sitting there, everyone's going, it's a very tense moment. And is it Sister Christian, I think, is playing? And suddenly you go on this sort of medium shot of Wahlberg, and you just hold on him for like, it seems like a long time, and you're just watching him.
It's him realizing it's a character hitting rock bottom. That's rock bottom. Yeah. And he's realizing it in real time. He's realizing that where am I? This is not good.
It's an amazing moment.
And what's really brilliant about it is that, of course, he lingers on it. The music's going on. He's created the space in that scene for this moment. The music's playing and Molina's off like playing Russian roulette with a fucking gun.
God, it was so difficult to watch those things. I cannot do it.
But what's incredible, I think, about that moment is that he frames John C. Reilly's head in half on the corner of the frame. And John C. Reilly, you see him just keep turning back. So occasionally you'll see him looking at him and you'll see John C. Reilly. And it'd be like, oh, yeah, there's another person going, are you in on this? But then he sees that Wahlberg is just out of it. Then he turns back to the other guy. And so Reilly in the middle is just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he's framed him perfectly in the middle. Like, it's very unconventional. Like, you wouldn't think, let's chop his head in half. Yeah. But what it does is it just focuses even more somehow on Wahlberg's face. It's a fucking, when I watched that, I was like, that's a sign of how good a filmmaker you are. Yeah. It's such a brilliant moment.
We've sort of lingered. There have been a few moments like this in the movies. I mean, I think of Heat, which is one that you and I have talked about many times, of De Niro driving in the tunnel. Moments where characters, we see them thinking or having a realization or coming to some conclusion.
Well, it's so hard, right? It's so hard to do it because you have to set it all up. It's all in the setup.
Right.
You have to have built it up correctly. You have to have allowed for it to happen, and then you have to execute. And the actor has to do it, but you also have to know how to do it. Like in Heat, it's the white lights suddenly in the tunnel that signal the change. It's very good. I get goosebumps thinking about that moment. It's so good.
Yeah.
And there are some real, and it's also a very, very funny movie.
It is funny, but they are all, there is a very pushed kind of cartoonish, they're all so unself-conscious, all of these characters, so deluded. And maybe the deluded people are the people who would have gotten into that business in the late 70s. But
well, you know who's really good, I think, is, I've never seen her better, is Heather Graham. More than anyone else in the movie, I feel like she's tapped into the sort of the dual nature of being, on the one hand, a character, a porn star character,
right,
and on the other hand, a real human being. She basically suppresses one to be the other.
She's amazing in the limo.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only time they let it out. It changes. And what's amazing, I think, is that moment when he says, "You're Brandy, right?"
Right.
And you could just see in her face, like she keeps looking at Jack like, get me out of here. I don't want this. This doesn't work. If I'm Brandy, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
I can only be Roller Girl. That's why the skates never come off. Like I'm always Roller Girl.
Yeah, this is sort of the beginnings of the amateur porn thing.
Yeah.
So they're driving around town in this limo with a video camera, and they're just picking up random dudes and filming it. But the one random dude they picked up ends up having been a high school classmate, I guess, of the Heather Graham character, and recognizes her. The late 70s were very ugly. Very ugly. The clothes and the...
I don't know. I kind of like the look of it. It's colorful.
It gives me the creeps.
Really?
It gives me Molly the creeps. I didn't watch this movie with her, but there are certain like shades of brown that make her very uncomfortable, or certain
like the wood laminate kind of interior finish. Lovely.
That green, that pea soup green.
A lot of I feel like vinyl and like latex coverings on kitchens. I also feel like at this time, yeah, I think you're right. The Altman influence, the Scorsese influence are huge. I think Magnolia is where he takes the Altman thing and pushes it further, makes it his own in a way. And then he kind of goes away from that. After he's done that movie, he kind of, the scope of the movies gets narrower. Because I wonder, it's hard, I guess, when you make this sort of big tableau sort of movie, like where it is a cross section, it's an ensemble of maybe 20 people.
Yeah.
It's hard then to make it perhaps as acute as a study like There Will Be Blood, where it's basically Daniel Plainview is in every scene, and it's really the rise and fall is his rise and fall specifically.
Right.
Rather than an entire industries or an entire communities.
Mm-hmm.
So you have had, speaking of drug-fueled journeys
and realizations about rock bottom.
Exactly. You have recently embarked on your own journey, which you have not told me about yet. So tell me about your psilocybin adventures.
Psilocybin journey. Yes, I did it 2 weeks ago. I went up to Lenox, Massachusetts, Lenox and Stockbridge, which is near this retreat center called Kripalu. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I've heard of that. But
there was a woman who works at Kripalu who offers these medicinal experiences,
so how did you come about? How did you find them, or how did you?
It's one of these friend of a friend of a friend kind of thing.
All right.
So I went up there. I had spoken on the phone a few times to this woman, and psilocybin is still illegal in this part of the world, in this part of the country. So it's not something that she could.
This is what's in magic mushrooms?
Yeah.
So you were breaking the laws, what you're saying.
I was breaking the laws.
Wow.
Yes,
You went all the way to Massachusetts to break the law.
The laws of nature.
Okay.
Yeah, so you go in, and I was doing it because I was curious, and I've been doing a lot of work on the self and also trying to be helpful to other people. And I'm interested in this. This is why I'm interested in music therapy too, and in EMDR. I'm interested in the unconscious and the ways that we can be reached and express ourselves separately from language and from the rational mind and from the verbal, which is where I spend so much of my time. But we all know the experience of music, of being in a musical experience and being deeply affected by it in a way you can't quite explain or wouldn't want to explain, or whatever it is. And these things, both music and psychedelic drugs, have been parts of many cultures, religious and sacred rituals over the millennia.
Right.
So basically, I don't know. I went up there. We said hello. Molly dropped me off. It was like 9:30 in the morning. I had some ginger tea. We sat down. We chatted for a minute, and then I had some chocolate. So that's the vector.
And what's the dosage? Like, is it a lot? Did they let you choose, or did they decide?
She had some. She said, we'll start with this, and then we'll
she
see
takes
how
it
goes.
too?
She has a little tiny bit.
It's just a taste.
Just a taste. But so I took it. I was 3 or 4 squares of dark chocolate, and we were just talking. Later on, she said, "Do you want more?" And I was like, "No,
I'm good.
Definitely don't." I had it. 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, I started to feel really bad, really clammy, really queasy.
Oh.
And I said, "Do people ever feel nauseated? Like, I don't feel so great." But there's like a blanket, some pillows and stuff. She had a weighted blanket, and then she also had she's got all like the bowls, like the Tibetan singing bowls, and there's different things. So you can kind of go in whatever direction you want. So she said most people lie down. You can wear an eye mask or whatever. Michael Pollan talks about wearing an eye mask. So I lie down. I put this weighted blanket on. I'm lying down with the eye mask on, and of course, weighted blanket plus eye mask plus, I had tried to put on this music, which had a lot of cello in it. So it was just so dark and so oppressive, underground. After a few minutes, I was like, I can't do this.
I don't feel good.
Yeah, I know.
So did you think you were going to barf or no?
I really did for a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was not feeling great. And at one point she gave me a banana, and it was the most intense banana experience. I've it was so complex and so fibrous, the texture, and so sweet. And
It's amazing what the brain can be convinced of.
yeah. So anyway, then I went outside at one point. I was in the sun, but it was very cold. I got a blanket. So there were different sort of stages of it. I wouldn't say it was like a great time. It was.
Sounds like rehab. What you were going through,
But there was one phase where I was lying down. This is sort of maybe 2/3 of the way into it. I was lying down, and she did do some of the singing bowls, the resonant, just these tones, and then occasionally ding, ding, ding kind of stuff. But that was incredible. That was really like a very warm, content, sort of blissful, and not a peak feeling, not an ecstatic feeling, but just like a totally content and like buoyed up feeling. And the sound of the bowls was just like supporting and carrying that. So that was pretty interesting. That was cool. And then we talked for a little bit afterwards.
But this idea, it wasn't. This feels to me like a sort of a framed version, in a way, like a curated version of basically just taking some edibles, doing whether it's mushrooms or whether it's gummies or whether it's but it's not like how some people do this and then you ask a question, or like the woman in the Michael Pollan thing, the woman who has cancer and has to go and face the black tumor or whatever.
Well, I think it could have been if I had a black tumor to face.
Oh,
I think that other people,
but you didn't have.
I didn't have, which I was a little disappointed by. But maybe it did. I didn't need to have that. Her attitude was sort of like the medicine will show you what you need to be shown.
Right. Interesting. Yeah.
It's sort of like you face in the cave what you bring in with you. You know what I mean? Like, and so no, I didn't have a vision of an unbroken chain of my ancestors going back to the Egyptians, or a feeling of having been reborn, or cross-hatched
dreams.
Visual. No, I actually didn't have any. I don't recall anything like that. Relationships was what came up. I mean, that's what it's all about, of course. I felt a deep and profound sense of love and of gratitude for the important people in my life, including you.
Yeah,
you came up. You came up a few times.
That's a good sign, I would say. Not that I came up, but that relationship, and that you felt content or gratitude or happy. That's a very good sign, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't all.
It wasn't all good.
It wasn't all good. There are a couple of relationships, and you know what I'm talking about.
Let's not get carried away.
I won't name names, but there were a few relationships that came up.
Slightly trickier ones, yeah.
More complicated. But my feelings about my children and my sisters, and for Molly especially, and for you, and for my brother-in-law Andy, it's just like it was very profound.
Did she guide you there, or that just happened?
It sort of happened. She occasionally would make comments, and I felt a little resistance. There were times when I did feel like she was like pushing me towards a conclusion that I didn't really want to, that I said I was whatever, cold under the blanket. And, I don't think that necessarily means that.
I really know. I just meant that could you turn up? Could you turn the heat up a little?
I'm just cold. Yeah. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Right.
But then later on, she and I really connected in the sort of coming out of it phase of talking and processing and integrating, as we might say. So that was good. And there were a couple of more complicated relationships. And
it's funny because going back, obviously, all across human time, basically, we've experimented with drugs, and it's clearly we've tried to, we've messed it up, and we've gone this way, we've gone that way. But it is actually such an integral part of our existence, I think. And what's so funny is, like, as a parent, you spend a lot of time, or I remember my parents spent so much effort warning us about drugs, and with fair reason, just being afraid of what drugs might do, because we've all seen what they can do. I mean, Boogie Nights is a great example of what can happen. But there are experiences, it feels to me, that almost can only be had with drugs. Well, we've talked about this, I think, before, but I always say, like, I often do a gummy on a Friday night. That's my jam. Gummy on a Friday night. And I do think I've said many times, I've probably said it on the show. I think it makes me a better parent when I'm a little bit high, because it takes away my impatience, my natural impatience with things. It makes me come down, especially with a kid, it makes me come down to that kid's, like, the wonder, in a sense, of like, oh, that is actually really funny, or that's actually noteworthy.
I can just picture you and young Wilder watching SpongeBob together or something, and you completely out of your mind laughing so hard. I get it.
The best one was,
I feel sorry for
we
him.
watched years ago, we watched Mulan. And do you know that one? It's like the Asian Disney, whatever it is. Anyway, Wilder was little. He was probably, I don't know, like 4 or 5. And we were watching it. I just remember it was beyond my ability to follow what was going on. So I turned to Wilder and I said, do you understand what's happening? And Wilder said, no, I don't know what's happening at all. And I was like, me neither. And Margie on the other side of the couch just looked at that, and she was like, okay, him I can understand, but you, that's just embarrassing.
Now, before we pivot to movies of 1998, I had a hankering. Oh, we should say this also, Boogie Nights, is a morality, isn't
Of course,
it? It's a
of
sort of an
course.
American
morality tale. They all fit.
Yeah. What's the moral of this one besides don't do cocaine?
I think this one, actually, more than morals, is a era, end of an era, fin de siècle, if I may.
You may not.
But I did anyway. It's that sort of, end of an era kind of movie, I think. That's how I would define it, more than even the morality of it.
1998, movies from 1998. I saw a lot of movies in 1998. This was just out of grad school, living in New York with my girlfriend, Molly. 1998, and I saw a lot of movies, including these movies I've seen from 1998. Saving Private Ryan. The Truman Show.
I've been wanting to show that to Wilder recently.
The Big Lebowski.
The Dude Abides.
The Thin Red Line.
Thin Red Line, very good movie. Wait, The Big Lebowski came out in 98?
I remember not really liking Lebowski when I saw it.
Nobody
this
liked
is hot off of Fargo, and I just felt like, what is this
liked
thing?
it. Yeah, everyone was confused by it. And then I think it was a failure when it came out.
A movie I remember thinking was absolutely terrible when I saw it, Meet Joe Black.
I don't think I've ever seen
with Anthony
that.
Hopkins and Brad Pitt.
It seemed like it would be bad, yeah.
Maybe the first movie I'd ever seen, though, that had a scene where a character is kind of like walking down the street and everything
gets
is normal.
run over.
Yeah, and then unannounced gets...
Yeah, it's a trope now.
Two movies that might be characterized as misanthropic. Happiness, Todd Solondz Happiness. And Neil LaBute's Your Friends and Neighbors.
Oh, yeah. You saw both these? Wow, you were really going for it.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, this is my peak. These are all in the theater as well.
Wow. Okay, good. Good.
Those were difficult to sit through, man. Woof.
Yeah.
Shakespeare in Love.
God.
Enemy of the State.
That's a good one.
I do like that one, actually.
That's a juicy one. Gene Hackman.
Yeah, that's my kind of movie, man.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one.
All right, just a few more. Rushmore. It's a good year for movies. Out of Sight.
Oh, yeah.
Pleasantville, which I like a lot, actually.
This is the year I moved to New York. This is why I was coming, because I thought there was a healthy, thriving, independent...
well, there was. Yeah.
There was. There really was.
Speaking of P.T. Anderson, Pleasantville, there was a really beautiful cover by Fiona Apple of Across the Universe, the John Lennon Beatles tune that P.T. Anderson shot a music video for, like on the set of Pleasantville with Fiona Apple. It's a really cool video. Velvet Goldmine.
Oh, yeah.
And The Last Days of Disco.
Very good. You saw all these?
Yeah.
Impressive.
I'm proud of myself. I recently saw Metropolitan for the first time around here, and Whit Stillman did a Q&A after the screening. That was interesting. Okay, movies from 1998 I have not seen. Number 1, Mulan.
Mulan, it's my chance.
It's your chance to figure out what happened.
What was going on?
I don't remember this at all.
No, I definitely don't. It was confusing. Very confusing movie.
I already know what we're gonna do, but I'll run down the list. American History X,
Oh yeah, I like that movie.
Blade.
Blade, Wesley Snipes. Yeah, Blade.
Two movies which I think go together: Armageddon and Deep Impact, both about end of the world scenarios.
Two very silly movies. Yes.
Is it Deep Impact the one where they play like miners, like they get trained to go and like mine down into this asteroid and blow it up before it gets to Earth, something like that?
Well, no, isn't there one that's got Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Ben Affleck was saying to Michael Bay, "This is the dumbest idea ever. Why would you get miners? You couldn't train the NASA people to do what the miners
wouldn't it be easier to train astronauts to do mining than to teach miners to be astronauts?
It's a very, very simple and correct observation.
Ronin.
Ronan's pretty good. Robert De Niro as the jazz club owner. Give me one last gig, one last steal, heist. You'd kind of like, I think you'd like that. Stylish.
Patch Adams.
Robin Williams movie?
Yeah.
I remember a cab driver once telling me that was his favorite movie.
And what did you say to him? You obviously haven't seen a lot of movies.
I kept my mouth shut. He said it made him laugh, it made him cry. What more could you ask for? I chose not to argue.
All right, here it is. Buffalo 66.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Excellent. Excellent. I can't believe you haven't seen this movie. For all the movies that you saw this year in the theater, this was the one to see in the theater.
I don't know. It seemed too scary somehow.
Good. I'm glad that we get to put that away.
Few more.
Okay.
Run, Lola, Run.
Oh, you've never seen that? How did you miss that?
Too scary.
That's not too scary. It's a woman with red hair running around over and over again to German techno. Very good.
That actually sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really fun.
That actress, that's the actress from The Bourne Identity.
Famke Jensen, yeah.
No, Franca Potente.
Oh, Franca Potente. Who's Famke Jensen? She's another one.
She used to live around the corner from me in the West Village. Speaking of 1998, I used to see her when I was walking Bones, my pug, and she was walking her little French bulldog. A very attractive woman, I thought. How about Pi, the Aronofsky?
Ooh, this is what I mean. This is what I was coming into. These are debut movies. These make sense. Darren Aronofsky's Pi as a debut. Buffalo 66 as a debut. These are fucking good movies. I can't believe you haven't seen Pi. Pi is really good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just some things just like I didn't know if I could handle. It's weird because I could see like,
but you saw happiness. Which is really fucking grim. Yeah. I'd say there's a lot more joy in Pi.
I think the thing 66. Is, I need to be taken into a movie without knowing what I'm getting into. Right. That's how I can get through. You know, that's how I come to watch.
I can get through it.
That's how I come to watch a movie like Happiness or a movie like Breaking the Waves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. How about The Celebration?
Oh my God. Oh, that actually, it's a Danish movie. Festen, yeah, that's it. Wow, that actually, as confident as you were, that's a toughie. Celebration, Thomas Vinterberg. That's another debut. Thomas Vinterberg's debut, and this was the time of Dogma 95,
right?
And von Trier was so angry because Vinterberg made the best Dogma 95 movie.
But I don't like the way you're talking about this movie. It makes it sound like it's going to be too much for me.
It's very, very intense.
Oh no! I don't.
Very intense.
I don't know about that.
I think we might have to do it.
All right, last one. I Stand Alone.
Seul contre tous. Is that what you mean? Gaspard Noé?
That's what I mean.
Oh, at some point I should make you watch a Gaspard Noé movie. I don't think I want to watch this one again. I saw this in the cinema. It's fucking grim. It's violent. His movies are hard to watch.
So it sounds to me like our frontrunners are Buffalo 66, Pi, and Festen. And Run Lola Run, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's between Buffalo 66 and The Celebration. if you wanted to do both, you could do a double bill. Does it make sense?
We don't have a double feature yet in this series.
Let's do them
In the
both.
season.
Let's do a double bill, I reckon. Buffalo 66 and Festin celebration.
Very juicy.
I love it. All right, I gotta go let Jack in to do some tiling in our apartment.
Tiling. What a funny word. Tiling. You don't hear that too much.
Finish the kitchen.
Must be nice. Guy gets nominated for a few Emmys, a few Critics' Choice Awards. Now he's suddenly got quartz coming in, new kitchen. Jeez.
It's all gonna go horribly wrong.
Wow. Somebody has had a good year.
Oh God, it's been a long time coming, this kitchen, and it's been really hard work, I must say. But it's going to be fantastic to make a nice pot of rice in there.
I look forward to my invitation.
You have an open invitation, Jimmy. Anytime you want. I'll make you a little choresh.
You give me a preserved plum.
The Japanese on the umaboshi.
Yeah, I think I probably mentioned it in another episode, but that, like the banana I had in Lenox, Massachusetts a couple weeks ago, that was one of the most amazing sensory experiences when I was at your house. And I also was high. I was high in your apartment on the Upper West Side, and you gave me one of these preserved plums that you have or whatever. And I had no idea what to expect, and I ate it, and it was like my entire head just opened up. It was so...
To be fair, I think the first time you have an umeboshi, even if you're not high, it kind of does that because it's such a strange concoction of flavors, and it sort of moves. It's like the first thing that you taste is not the last thing that you taste.
Yeah.
Really, it goes from being incredibly salty to incredibly sour to something in between. It's very fruity. It's an intense experience. I gave one to my dad, and he was like, "What is this? What is this?" I've never lived, 70 years and I've never experienced this.
It seems to violate our palate, the rules of our palate, where you can have pizza, or you can have I don't know, eggs and bacon, or you can have grits, or you can have whatever, fried chicken, all these different things, but they sort of, they're playing in one sort of idea of the way flavors are supposed to go together, or,
It's funny that everything that you said there was Southern.
And breakfast, I feel like also I said chicken and waffles.
That's really...
Maybe I'm just hungry. Yeah.
Fried chicken and...
a nice, delicious plate of scrambled eggs, grits.
Just for
instance. You know what I mean, though? And this seems to it's like mixing colors that aren't supposed to be mixed together in some way. Really interesting.
It's a great flavor.
That's what being alive is about, man. Moments like that. They're vanishingly rare, and therefore to be treasured. Like our friendship. See, this is the result. Wow. This is the result of my journey. Is I can both feel and express a sentiment like that
shot him.
without irony or embarrassment.
He's become even more insufferable after psilocybin.
All right. Just wait. It's Thanksgiving next week. Just wait till my speech where I talk about what I'm thankful for. Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Double bill. Enjoy it.
All right. Cheerio.
Cheers.
And that's that. Our next episode is a double bill. Vincent Gallo's Buffalo 66 and Thomas Vinterberg's Festin, also known as The Celebration. They are both very much worth your time, but I have to say I especially recommend that you check out The Celebration if you have a chance. It might be my favorite movie we have done so far. Bye for now.